no, so and I don't mean to be condescending here. I just point out what's going to replace your glasses. Like,
So
why
I
would you
do
wear your
know.
glasses around your face? They're made of plastic. Thank you, Chairman. Ms. Bradford, in your testimony, did I understand you right? Said that you want to end all plastic manufacturing?
I said the plastics industry must be stopped.
So does that mean end plastic manufacturing?
I mean, in my dream world, sure, but I think that. Go ahead.
No, so and I don't mean to be condescending here. I just point out what's going to replace your glasses. Like,
So
why
I
would you wear
do
your
know.
glasses around your face? They're made of plastic.
Maybe.
No,
I don't
they
know
are.
what they're made out of.
They are.
So-
What about, and I'm just pointing out some things here because I just want to be realistic when we're having conversations, because when statements are made like this, I just want to open people's eyes and say, well, okay, that's easy to say, but what's the solution? Your water bottle in front of you.
This one?
Yes. That plastic?
No.
The lid is. That's plastic.
Right. So
Right.
I would say to
your
your
cell phone-
question that I would first be concerned about single-use plastics, and then we can talk about alternatives to this.
Your cell phone there. Is it plastic?
The cases, but it's glass because I broke
Oh, the components
the
inside of it's
screen
not
yesterday.
plastic? The components made out of it's not plastic? Yeah, they are. The water that you filled that water bottle up with, where'd you fill that water bottle up out of?
A water filling station.
All right, and it was delivered by a drink station that was plastic?
I didn't check.
The edges are. The piping coming to it. Now, you have a couple of choices with the piping. We could go back to using wood, but then you have to line it in chemical. Or we could go back and use lead, because we used to have water piping that was lead. That was harmful to us. We go back to galvanized, but galvanized rust and had discoloration. We go back to copper, but copper has to be mined, and everybody wants to stop mining in the U.S. So you use plastic to deliver piping that you fill that water bottle up with today. I point this out because the clothes you have on, I guarantee you have plastic in it. The shoes you have on your feet, the soles of those shoes are plastic. So we talk about any plastic manufacturing, and everybody in here cheers when you say that, but everybody here is depending on plastic as you set. So if you want to end it, then quit using it. It's kind of like, I don't shop at certain places right now because I don't agree with some of their policies. I choose not to do that. You can choose to not use plastic. Do your work. If you believe it, then live it that way. And if not, then tell me what the solution is. Mr. Sunday, can you manufacture a car today without plastic? But the components that go into the cars today, can you do that without plastic?
No, Senator, and increasingly so with the new mileage mandates. You increasingly need to use automotive components that are plastics derived.
So we wouldn't have manufacturing, today's modern manufacturing, if we didn't have plastics, correct?
Correct.
Ms. Jackson, do you agree with that statement? So what's the alternative for manufacturing? Because the Democrats talk about middle-class wages. Middle-class wages typically come directly from manufacturing. What is it that we're manufacturing that doesn't have plastic in it today?
Nothing, and you know what? It would increase the cost of everything if we turn to an alternative, and it would disproportionately impact low-income people who have lower incomes. It would be another regressive tax on the poor.
So according to your testimony, Ms. Jackson, it sounds like you're saying that the environmental justice agenda does more harm than good for low-income families. Is that correct?
Yes, and you know, I have the unique opportunity to see both sides when the industry comes in the area and when it doesn't. As an auditor, I worked on Nissan North America. Nissan North America moved to Smyrna, Tennessee, where it built the largest automotive manufacturing plants. And the transformation was astonishing. I mean, it went from a community that was poor to a community that U.S. World News
Wow.
voted one of the top 10 places to retire. You had poor people in areas that were poor that became middle class. You had middle class people that became upper middle class, and a lot of upper middle class people that became affluent. They have attractions, they have amenities, they have housing, affordability. I mean, the amount of prosperity in that area has resonated out three counties. Poverty is the one that destroys lives. It destroys health. It creates trauma. So we need to make sure that when we're talking about these issues, we take into account the human loss of life, not just the environmental impacts.
Thank you. Thanks for indulgence.
いかがでしたか？それでは今回も動画に出てきた会話の中から日常英会話で使えるフレーズ、イディオムなどを抜き出してみたので一緒に勉強していきましょう。いろんな使い回しや応用も可能です。ぜひ自分なりの例文も作ってみてくださいね。では参りましょう。
What's going to replace your glasses? What's going to replace your glasses? What's going to replace your glasses?
あなたのメガネの代わりになるものは何ですか？
What's going to replace your glasses? I'll just point out some things here. I'll just point out some things here. I'll just point out some things here.
ここでいくつか指摘しておきたい。
I'll just point out some things here. I just want to be realistic. I just want to be realistic. I just want to be realistic.
私はただ現実的でありたいのです。
I just want to be realistic. That's easy to say, but what's the solution? That's easy to say, but what's the solution? That's easy to say, but what's the solution?
言うのは簡単ですが、解決策は？
That's easy to say, but what's the solution? If you want to end it, then quit using it. If you want to end it, then quit using it. If you want to end it, then quit using it.
それを終わらせたいのなら、使うのをやめればいい。
If you want to end it, then quit using it. You can choose to not use plastic. You can choose to not use plastic. You can choose to not use plastic.
プラスチックを使わないことを選ぶことができる。
You can choose to not use plastic. If you believe it, then live it that way. If you believe it, then live it that way. If you believe it, then live it that way.
そう信じるなら、そう生きればいい。
If you believe it, then live it that way. If not, then tell me what the solution is. If not, then tell me what the solution is. If not, then tell me what the solution is.
そうじゃないなら、解決策を教えてほしい。
If not, then tell me what the solution is.